Hello, and thank you for watching the Imagine Institute Substitute Pool Facility Orientation. My name is Polly, and I am a part of the Substitute Pool team with the Imagine Institute. The purpose of this orientation is to get your facility ready to welcome substitutes and to help you understand how to use the substitute pool. Please note, substitutes will need to attend their own orientation, which will be hosted live by a member of the Imagine Institute team. They can register for this on our website, www.imaginewa.org. During this first section, we are going to learn about what is the substitute pool, what does professionalism look like, and what are the responsibilities of Imagine, facilities, and substitutes. First, let's go over the history of the substitute pool. The Department of Children, Youth, and Families, also referred to as DCYF, is a state agency that oversees licensed child care facilities. DCYF has contracted with the Imagine Institute to administer the substitute pool. The Early Start Act was a piece of legislation that designated over $100 million to the state's early learning systems. One of the supports mandated by this legislation is the substitute pool. The intent of the substitute pool is to reduce barriers to participation in early achievers and increase the number of providers who rate it at a level 3 or higher. The Imagine Institute is a 501c3 nonprofit organization specializing in the professional development for early learning professionals. We do trainings, administer the substitute pool, develop programs, mentor childcare providers, and work to grow the field of early childhood education. In December of 2019, the substitute pool was expanded to include 5 days of substitute time for licensed family childcare providers serving children on subsidy. In spring of 2020, the substitute pool expanded once again to be able to take private pay substitute shifts. Professionalism is one of the highest expectations that we have for the use of the substitute pool. In order to ensure a professional exchange, it is important that facilities and substitutes understand their expectations. Over the next several slides, we will discuss what the expectations are for the Imagine Institute, facilities, and substitutes. The Imagine Institute's responsibilities are to verify eligibility of facilities and substitutes and connect interested substitutes to eligible facilities. Imagine reviews the substitute's qualifications based on information provided by the substitute and reviews available information within the Department of Children, Youth, and Families Merit Database. Imagine will connect or provide substitutes with required training, provide quality assurance measures, and ensure accountability of state funds. Your responsibilities as a facility are first to read and agree to the terms of service that will be shown to you the first time you access our scheduling form. Make sure that you plan ahead and try to schedule shifts at least 72 hours in advance. Please note, shifts must be scheduled in advance through our website. After you schedule a shift, we will send it out to either your preferred substitute or to approved substitutes in your area. You will not receive a notification from us unless a substitute has confirmed that they are going to work your shift. Once a substitute has accepted your shift, you will receive an email and text notification letting you know that the shift has been confirmed. Any shifts that are completed without a confirmation from the Imagine Institute will not be funded through eligible funding streams within the Imagine Institute. It is very important that all shifts are scheduled in advance. Make sure that you plan for a 1-hour orientation at the beginning of your substitute's first shift. You will use the facility checklist, which we are going to review on the next slide, to complete this orientation with your substitute. Once a substitute has completed their shift, you will receive a notification from us asking you to confirm that they worked the scheduled hours. It is important that you confirm these hours as quickly as possible in order to ensure that your substitute gets paid in a timely fashion. This checklist is available on our website for you to print out and have ready prior to your substitute's arrival. Use this checklist to facilitate your new substitute's 1-hour orientation. These items are the minimum of what should be covered prior to the start of their first shift. As you fill out this ask yourself, what does my substitute need in order to successfully manage this classroom or my program on their own? What is important for them to know about any specific children or families in my care? What tips and tricks can I share with them so that their day runs smoothly? Please add more. Make sure that this covers everything you feel your substitute is going to need to run your program in your absence. Substitutes will be held to a high level of professionalism and performance. They are expected to arrive on time, behave in a professional manner, and communicate with facilities effectively. Additionally, substitutes are expected to create a nurturing environment through the direct care of children and to value each individual child. They will also be responsible for completing an end of day report, which can be found on our website. They should give this to you at the end of each day. This report will cover anything the substitute needs to communicate with you that happened during their day. It is for your records and should be kept along with the facility checklist. Our next section is going to address eligibility and funding. What are the qualifications needed to be a substitute? What is needed for my facility to be eligible to use the substitute pool? How do I find out if I'm eligible for subsidized shifts? And what is the private pay option? All substitutes will be pre-qualified by the Imagine Institute and will have all of their requirements confirmed in merit. Additionally, they will need to complete their own separate orientation, which will be live hosted by an Imagine Institute team member. The following qualifications are required in order for substitutes to be approved by the Imagine Institute and DCYF. They will need to have a STARS ID number through merit, be at least 18 years of age, and have a cleared background check, which can also be found in merit. They will need to complete the Child Care Basics series or a DCYF approved alternative. The following documents will need to be submitted directly to the Imagine Institute. This includes basic first aid, bloodborne pathogens training, a current CPR that includes infant and child CPR, current food handler's card, a completed mandated reporter training and safe sleep training through the DCYF training portal, a negative tuberculosis test, and they will also need to submit a photo of themselves for their substitute ID badge. Substitutes can easily submit these documents through our Google form, which can be found at the website listed on your screen. If your substitute is missing some of their qualifications, this chart can show you where they can access the different training requirements. You can also contact us at subpool@imaginewa.org, and we can help connect them to training. Please take a moment to pause this part of the video so that you can review where to find the needed requirements. In order to access the substitute pool, facilities must be licensed and in good standing with DCYF. Additional eligibility requirements may be required in order to access subsidized funding sources. Imagine partners with multiple organizations to offer as many resources to facilities as possible. For the most current information on available funding sources and eligibility requirements, please visit us at www.imaginewa.org/find a substitute. We are very excited to be able to offer the substitute pool as a resource to all licensed facilities in the state of Washington through our private pay option. The private pay option allows you to set your own rate. There are no minimum pay rates required. You are only responsible for ensuring that you meet your city, county, and state minimum wage requirements for your area. This resource can be used to fill vacancies. If you have staff who are out sick or have requested vacation, or if you yourself need a vacation or are temporarily understaffed and need to fill staff vacancies immediately, we can help. Additionally, your use of the substitute program helps to grow the field of early childhood education by providing substitutes with invaluable experience that strengthens our workforce overall. Scheduling your substitute shifts can be done directly on our website at imaginewa.org under the Find a Substitute option. Make sure you have your provider number ready This is also called a FamLink ID and can be found at the top left-hand corner of your license. Again, remember that all shifts need to be requested before the start of the shift and will need to be confirmed through the Imagine Institute to qualify for any subsidized funding source. Any shifts that are arranged directly between a facility and a substitute and have not received a confirmation text or email from the Imagine Institute will be the responsibility of the facility to pay for the substitute's time. Our scheduling form now has the ability to show you exactly what subsidized funding is available to you, how much time you've already used, and how much time you have left. When you're filling out the form, select the funding source that you wish to access, then read through the details to let you know how much time you can schedule. Private pay shifts have unlimited hours, while subsidized funding will have limitations on how many hours can be accessed. If you attempt to schedule a subsidized shift that goes beyond the available hours, the form will prompt you to determine your pay rate for private pay shifts for any hours in excess of what you have available. Make sure to review the form completely prior to submitting your shift request. This chart demonstrates the different options that will be available to you on the form. Is this your first time scheduling with us? If the answer is yes, you will be prompted to read and agree to the liability waiver. This will only need to be completed the first time you access this form, so any additional shift requests will take you directly to filling out the shift details. Are you trying to schedule more than one shift at a time? We have the ability to schedule multiple shifts now. You will need to decide if you would like all of these shifts to be completed by one substitute, or if you are okay with multiple substitutes filling these shifts. Do you have a substitute in mind that you'd like to have work for you? Great. Just make sure that you have their STARS ID number ready, and you will be able to request that this shift get sent to them first. You can also choose to elect that the shift only be sent to your preferred substitute if you are not interested in having one of our available substitutes in your area that you do not know fill the shift. If you do not have a preferred substitute, we will simply send this out to approved substitutes in your area, and you will receive a text or email notification if a substitute accepts your shift. Please remember that you will be notified via text and email if a substitute accepts your shift. Shifts are not approved until you receive a confirmation from the Imagine Institute. We are unable to guarantee availability of substitutes in your area, so please do not consider this shift request to be a confirmation that a substitute is going to be working your shift. During this orientation, we should have answered the following questions. Hopefully, you now feel confident understanding what your eligibility requirements are, what to do with the facility checklist and end of day report, what the substitute qualifications are, where substitutes can get training, how to request a preferred substitute, where to find information on subsidized funding streams, and how many hours you will have available for subsidized funding, how to schedule a shift, and what the private pay option is. Do you have additional questions? You can email us at subpool@imaginewa.org. Thank you for attending this orientation. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at subpool@imaginewa.org or call us at 206-492-5249.